Get through the morning every day. Every morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jody and Hazy on Nova.
Parents of children who have been bullied on social media will be punching the air at the news that Peter Malinauskas wants to ban children under 14 from all of the platforms. So we're talking Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram and X. So it would be Australia First legislation that will be proposed by Mr Malinauskas, and if it goes through, that will go through by the 2026 election.
Hard to disagree with a move like this.
There's been much examination and consequential evidence to suggest that addictive algorithms are being used to draw young people in a way that their developing minds are just not capable to be able to deal with. And that in turn causes them great vulnerability to mental health issues.
My God, social media is dangerous.
And I don't think this is the first generation that we will see the full impact of social media down the track on our mental health. Now, it is no coincidence that the rise in mental health problems coincides with the introduction of all of these platforms. What annoys me no end about these people that make an absolute fortune from these social media platforms is that there is zero regulation. Anyone can jump on the internet and say anything about anyone else without there being any hint of defamation. And I just don't understand how they can get away with it. Can you?
No, it is mind-boggling. So, I mean, the easy thing to say in a situation like this, particularly when there's hate that comes through, is just ignore it and things like that. But that's so much easier said than done. And the first time you actually see some hateful comments come towards you. And I used to do radio show, as you know, with Kane Corns, who turned it into I'd say a positive situation. He'd do mean tweets and all these types of things, but he had to learn how to handle it. And the first time some comments came towards me, it's like, genuinely, it's hard to process.
Yeah.
And eventually you do get used to it. But that's coming from someone who's in their mid-30s.
Yeah, but we're
processing that versus being
kids.
a child. We're still trying to develop your own sort of brain and everything that comes with it, and then you're dealing with hateful comments. That's disgusting.
We're human beings and we're conditioned to want to be liked and want to be loved. So it goes against everything that we're wired to do. But also, I'm trying to teach my girls to be kind people. And it's not just the other kids that are nasty. It's when they jump on social media and they see other adults being horrible to each other. I mean, what sort of standard are we setting when we've got keyboard warriors just deliberately going online to troll other people?
Yes.
Like, it's not a nice space. And unless it gets cleaned up, I don't want kids under 14 on there.
Yeah.
I don't want their young, developing, sensitive brains to be exposed to the hate from other kids and or adults.
Particularly mid-teens, that is such a vulnerable age for self-development. Confidence issues can start at any age, but particularly there where you're genuinely trying to find yourself, work yourself out, and you're dealing with external pressure like that is just, it's ridiculous.
And that hasn't even touched on the predators online who are preying on young girls and young boys and pretending to be someone else. We need to clean all this stuff up before we even think about letting children get on the internet.
It's got full votes here. I don't think there's anyone here in this room that doesn't agree with what Peter Malinauskas is trying to put in. 13 24 10. Do you think a social media ban will work? And also, have you already implemented something like this at your house? What's your social media policy at home?
I'm super keen to know because I had my 11-year-old begging me for Snapchat on the weekend. And I was like, absolutely not. And she's like, why not? All the other kids have got it. I'm like, I am doing this for your own good and I am trying to protect you from social media, and one day you will thank me.
Yes.
Just not tomorrow, not the next day, but one day you'll thank me.
It's just another hurdle, I think, for a lot of parents. That is tackling social media at an early age. Your social media policy, give us a call, 13 24 10.
Let's go to Megan because we're asking the question this morning. What's the social media policy with your kids? What do you do with yours, Megan?
So we've got a no social media policy as well. She, got her phone for the first time, which I was even hesitant to give it to her at 12. But all her friends had it, so we've agreed to a phone. But there's no Snapchat, there's no Instagram, there's no Facebook, and all of those sort of platforms. The agreement, and we've said to her that if she gets caught with it, then she loses her phone.
Yeah,
she'll just have her phone for going to the shop when she wants to go to a shop on her own and have a look at something, and I'll be able to contact her.
Yeah.
We're trying to encourage an incentive of no social media until she's 17.
Okay.
With an incentive of how about we go halves in the car? How about we go halves in the car? You stay off social media and you agree to no social media until you're 17, we'll go halves in the car.
Perfect.
Good.
I like that.
But yeah, it's really hard when all of the friends have it. But the key thing for me was speaking to a family friend that's a police officer, and they said that hackers these days have actually gotten really, really clever with bypassing all the security settings on there. So even if you have location services turned off, a really good hacker can actually bypass those security settings and pinpoint where your child is.
That's horrifying.
Right down to the street name,
Horrifying.
address, number, everything.
Yeah,
And, you know, that was my argument to my daughter of, you know, you can turn those things off. But if a hacker really wants to find you, they can. And, you know, that's just not cool.
Yeah,
No.
absolutely, Megan. Well done. Thank you. Let's go to Angela. Your thoughts on social media with your kids?
Morning, guys. I'm like you guys in full agreement to this. I think it should be a ban for the whole of schooling until the kids graduate. Our agreement is that the kids can't have any social media platforms until they finish school. They need to concentrate on schooling. My husband and I are police officers, and we've come face to face with the tragedy that social media has on families. It rips them apart. We are very honest with our children. We do not hide this issue. And when my kids asked how they tackle, you know, the pressures from school, we've said to them, tell them it's not your parents saying no, you're saying no. You have the power to say, I don't want to be on social media. I want my safe space at home. I don't want it. And so far, so good. Their friends haven't pressured them, bullied them. If they want to get in contact, they call like the old days or a text. And so far, it's working really well.
That's good.
Well-rounded kids with no mental health issues, and it seems to be working for us, and I think it can work for everyone.
Yeah, thank you. The one that always gets me in that space when you talk about police officers is the Carly Ryan one, and there's plenty of good resources on the Carly Ryan Foundation website where it can help you get your kids off social media, and if that is not a tale of warning, then I don't know what is.
Yep.
Let's go to Trudy. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I find it really hard. We've got a really wishy-washy policy in our house. My heart says one thing, my head says another. I guess for us, I've got a 10-year-old who's on the spectrum, and she finds it very hard to not keep up with the Joneses, I guess, and it's that, you know, that fear of being excluded, you know, and I don't want that for her in that sense. Because she does have some of the platforms, ones that I can keep track of, but they're still, even if you're keeping track of, the kids don't care. They just say what they want to say. And we have had to put a little bit of a ban on some of them. But at the same time, I'd love a ban, because I think, you know, if it's a law, but in saying that, these platforms have age, you know, ages that they're not meant to be on it, and parents we're still putting them on there.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know, you know, if we're putting a ban on it, how are they actually going to monitor that? Because they're not meant to be on there now anyway.
Well, I think it would make it easier for parents, don't you think, Trudy, if it is law? Then you can say, well, nothing to do with me.
Absolutely.
You just can't do it.
My daughter heard this morning that they said it had come into the, you know, in 26,
Yeah.
and her first comment to me was, how old will I be? Oh, that's great. I'll only have to go without it for a year. So straight away she was ready to follow the law, but was already working out how long she had to only go without it.
That's how their little minds work, isn't it?
Absolutely. It rules their lives. It really does. And, you know, for us, it's those, you know, those meltdowns that we get, they're crazy, but at the same time, you know, I'd rather see it all go.
Yeah. Thank you, Trudy. Thank you so much for your call this morning. Good morning, Kayla. What's the go in your house?
So my daughter would absolutely love to become a YouTuber, and to follow that dream, I really want to encourage that. I really do, but putting her on YouTube is just something that I can't do. So instead, I have decided to make like a Facebook group that's private, only solely to my family.
Yep.
And very, very private friends that I know aren't sketchy. And, so she still gets to do her YouTube videos, kind of like a practice, and only the family and friends will be able to like and comment and suggest some things and, you know, kind of get her prepared for YouTube if that's still her goal for the future.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? It's interesting, Kayla, that's what our young kids are aspiring to be now, as influencers and YouTubers.
Different world.
Yeah, it's very strange. All right, thank you so much for your call. Really appreciate it.
There we go. Some very, very strong thoughts as well, but it is a very, very excellent proposed policy, and fingers crossed it goes through.
Here's what you're waking up to, Adelaide.
In the news today.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
What's in the news today?
Your post-snooze news.
These are the top 3 stories from the last 24 hours. Information can be very confusing, so if you're heading to the gym or you're heading home from work, we're just going to get you up to speed right here, right now with everything that's going on in the world.
And saying that, let's go straight to the top with newsreader Abby.
Good Lord, what is happening in there?
Aurora Borealis.
Aurora Borealis. At this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen.
Yes.
I've wanted to do that my whole life, Abs. My entire life. That particular quote from The Simpsons.
You know the man loves a good Simpsons reference for everything.
I've never seen a full Simpsons episode, but anyway, that's another story.
Oh my God.
I know.
You okay?
If you were living under a rock for the weekend, we'll talk about that later, Hazy. If you were living under a rock for the weekend, you would have missed out on Aurora Australis. So basically, I hear you asking, what is that? It's a coronal mass ejections occur when large clouds of plasma and magnetic field erupt in the sun's outer atmosphere. So basically, there's these massive geomagnetic storms that were happening, and these beautiful, beautiful pictures across everyone's social media have been posted over the weekend. These like pinky, greeny colours across the sky. It was seen in the northern and the southern hemisphere. But it's actually really interesting because if you read more into it, it can pose risk to like radio, GPS and satellite communications. The last time we saw this was back in 2003. From what I've seen, there hasn't been any interruptions or anything like that posted. But the BOM has said that it was occurring across the planet at a G5 or extreme level, which means we could have had some interruptions.
I would like for you to repeat all of that back to me. Thank you, Hazy.
Okay, no problems at all.
Good Lord, what is happening in there?
But yeah, it was pretty cool. If you could see it, I was up in the hills house sitting, so I couldn't see anything. But down the road in Mount Barker, somebody from Nova posted just at the back of their house that they could see it. But yeah, it was pretty cool if you got a chance to go out and have a look.
Oh, very nice.
There you go.
Is it happening again or not?
No, so it was Saturday and Sunday night that you could see it. There's no talk of it being seen tonight.
Okay. Well, we missed that boat.
There you go. It's a once-in-a-while phenomenon, just like your netball story coming up. Oh my gosh.
Very goodness. So Saturday night I was texting you because there were absolute farcical scenes in the Suncorp Super Netball. I have never seen anything like it in my life. Confusion reigned at the end of the regular time in the Sunshine Coast Lightning Giants netball clash. So basically, scores appeared to be locked at 71 apiece, but then the Lightning scored and it was like, okay, they win, players shake hands, off the court they go. However, the Giants remained on the court for a good 50 minutes afterwards because they maintained that there was a scoring error a little earlier in the game and it was actually a draw and therefore they should play overtime. Umpires walked off. The Lightning are like taking off their strapping and packing their bags for the airport.
Didn't the umpires leave?
They left.
Like, what did the umpires do? Like, they literally, the final whistle went and they went straight into their cars?
100% they left. And so then we all worked out, no, it's actually a draw. There's been an error. So then they played overtime and the Giants bloody won, didn't they?
Yeah, wow.
And so, Steph Wood, who is the Lightning coach, was in tears at the post-match presser. But I have never seen anything like it.
Yeah, wow, that is outrageous.
We've gone from draw to Lightning win 71-70 to a check of the score to being told that it is a draw to being told that the points would be shared to now being told the game is going to resume.
Don't look like they've got any interest in getting back on the court for this extra time.
Nice, everybody.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And the winner is netball.
Oh, my gosh.
Goodness me.
So there you go. Well, unfortunately for both parties involved, the draw last night at Adelaide Oval stood.
Siren's got a sound! Inside 50! Siren!
Got to save it.
It's a draw! They don't know how to feel!
First draw at Adelaide Oval. How gross is a draw in AFL? And we don't need to start about the whole extra time, all those types of things, unless it was a grand final. Because it's so rare that you let it stand. But the scenes last night, you're looking at both Matthew Nicks and then Chris Fagan, both of them are going, well, what's going on here? You know what it feels like? It feels like mum and dad having an intimate time.
Oh.
But neither mum or dad get to that spot where they want to. Do you know what I mean?
Well, Chris Fagan was chewing that chewy the hardest I've ever seen him chew.
Oh, my gosh. a word from the Chewy as well. It's not in a good way.
No.
Just like the 6:15 vending machine.
Yeah. Yeah, well, interestingly, Chris Fagan's Chewy went out with the 6:15 betting machine last night, and that's why they're both very dusty.
Beaten up,
very
two torn
worse for wear.
ACLs.
I wonder why.
Dislocated
Do you think
elbow.
they'll ever bring in that if it's a draw, they'd continue playing?
Extra time?
Yeah.
I hope not. It's so
Do you
rare.
hope not?
I know we've had a couple of draws now. They had one on the Anzac Day as well, but that's reasonably rare. That's the first draw at Adelaide Oval. That's how rare it is.
Am I just a little bit weird in that I thought both teams played really well with a big injury list, and so a draw was maybe a fitting result?
Oh, that's such a netball attitude. Hey guys, happy to be here.
The Crows
Let's
were
share the points.
No, a netball attitude would be is if we had a winner and then we all had to come back on the field 45 minutes later and play extra time. That would be a netball vibe.
And then we embrace afterwards, arm in arm, and go, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Good
3 cheers
stuff."
for the umpire. Ray.
That's your post-snooze news.
Saturday, 18th of May at Argana Park, 2:15. Andrew Hayes will be pulling on the Elizabeth Eagles jersey. Because I've nominated you, I thought, well, if anyone can salvage this club, it's you.
Yeah.
As you like to tell us with alarming regularity, you're 100-point difference, you are. So let's put that to the test. We spoke to the footy ops boss, Tim Young. He's very excited to have you on board. They've just announced a new coach too.
Yep. That is Matt Switala.
Yep.
Brother of a bloke I used to play with, Adam Switala. Swooper. One of the smoothest
Swoops.
movers in the business.
Yeah, nice.
Swoop's not playing, by the way. He's got the kids.
Yeah, right.
Try to recruit him.
Fitzy is on board. He's going to be our motivation coach. Can't wait for that. And Joshua Shelley helps you figure out a little goal celebration if they do sneak you up forward and you happen to snag one.
Yeah.
It's all coming together.
If I happen to snag one. Oh, gosh, we have fun, don't we? In this imaginary little world where in any form of football I kick a goal.
Did you ever kick a goal in your SANFL career?
Yes, Jodie.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I kicked a couple.
Okay.
Not heaps.
How many?
I think 20 over the journey.
Goals. All right,
So-
that's not awful.
Had a couple little stints up forward.
Yeah.
I was a defender, though.
Yeah, I know.
So...
But you're versatile, and I've always said that about you.
What about when we spoke to Tim Young during the week and he said, maybe I'll put you in the middle. I said, Tim, what are you talking about, mate? The only time I ever played in the middle at Central was when I was putting a heavy tag on. You don't want that.
No.
Ain't nobody want a heavy tag in
No,
Div 6.
nobody got no time for that. I happened to catch this on Saturday night during the news as well. Just a bit of beautiful work from ABBA and Smitho.
Oh, here we go.
But the big news, Seven's own Andrew Hayes, 4-time SANFL Premiership player with the Dogs, is going to play next week for the Eagles. Hang on for that. That's our sport for now, and good luck to Andrew Hayes.
Hazy's playing. Why don't you pull on the boots?
I'm a little bit older and a whole lot smarter than Hazy.
True.
Okay. Well, I hope they've got the new shipment of mirrors for the change rooms for Hazy's arrival
very
because he'll need them, I tell you.
Wow.
Well played.
Wow.
Well played there by Mike Smithson.
Smitho can be a bit hit or miss on the old one-liners, but that one, I think, landed.
That was good.
That was good.
Very good gear. And he's
Very-
bang on. I'll need several mirrors up there
Very
just to see
nice.
exactly what's going on.
And then you caught up with your hero on the weekend as well and
Yeah.
just had a chat with him about the impending game.
Yeah, Jason Horne-Francis, fresh off the back of a match-winning performance. Just a great man who, by the way, is our number one listener.
Yes.
Listens every morning. Sometimes refuses to train if training's early
Yeah.
until he's got his Jodie and Hay fix.
Until
We know
quarter,
that.
till 9:15.
Yeah, this was the advice he gave.
I guess the first one's be careful down there, that neck of the woods down there. I used to actually I live down there, but Dad always said be first to the footy. If you can't do anything if you don't got the footy, Hazy, so just go get the thing and then see what happens, make it up.
Beautiful advice.
Dad always said be first to the footy.
Just
You
get the
can't do
footy.
anything if you don't have the football.
Just get the ball. Easier said than done, Jason might say. But
That is beautiful advice from Mr. Horne-Francis.
do you know what? I need that inscripted as a quote, and I'll put that on my wrist
Yep.
during the game. And whenever I'm lacking motivation
Yeah.
or a hamstring, I'll just look at that quote and just go in. Bum up in the air,
Yeah.
head down,
Yeah.
get the ball, see what happens. Bang, get tackled.
You get the tape and then just get your texter and write, you can't do anything if you don't have the football.
That's so
Mr. HF.
Yes.
And away you go.
Oh, it's going to be good, Joes. I can't wait for it.
Well, Hazy, I know this is one of your favourite TV shows and it returns tonight on 10 and 10 Play, 8:40. It is called Have You Been Paying Attention? It is season 12 and joining us now are the stars of it, Sam Pang and Tom Glasner. Good morning.
Hello, Jody. Hey, Hazy.
Hi. You just said, Sam, off air, is this live? And I said, as if we could trust you to go live any more than we could trust the guy on Friday who dropped a massive F-bomb during the 6:15 vending machine quiz that we have.
Was it you?
Was it in context or just a random profanity?
It was very much in context. Sam, you've spent many, many years in radio. Have you ever had to use the dump button?
Oh, Jody, this may surprise you. I wasn't allowed to touch any of the equipment. Like we had an anchor. Do you two do it yourself?
He does it. Hazy does it.
Hazy, you've got the right idea. In radio, you always need to be multi-skilled. So you're obviously a presenter and you can do the panelling. So if they had to sack you, they need two people.
100%.
So you're more entrenched. Jody, you're on shaky ground.
12th season. This is just an absolute phenomenon. You still having fun?
It's an absolute blast to get together with everyone. Sam and I were just saying how good it was to, get back into the studio. It really is a bit of a party, and we get a small audience in. There's about 70 people, some of whom have waited since pre-COVID to get a ticket to the show. So it's got just a really good vibe.
You speak for yourself, Tom. Right. It's another gig, just another gig for me. It's just a paycheck. It is just an invoice, and it is. I am contractually obliged to be there.
He says paycheck. It's cash in hand.
Yeah. I was going to say, are you a full-time employee, Sam, or are you just like a casual?
No, very casual. Very, very casual.
Yeah, it's still a tax deduction, so that's amazing.
What does it sound? It's like money in an envelope, like country football or something, like money in an envelope after the show.
School. The handshake in the envelope. I'm well aware of that. No, I wish it was. Geez, that'd be good. It'd be so sweet if at the end of the show you had to hand me a brown bag, Tom. I reckon that'd be what a way to finish the show.
Now you guys mentioned country football here, so you wouldn't be across this, but there is a team in Adelaide, South Australia, called the Elizabeth Eagles. And
Sam, you'd be all over it. You would have mentioned this on the Front Bar.
I'm all over this, and we covered this on Front Bar. You obviously missed that episode.
He's just had it glued to Channel 10.
Listen, if Fitzy's not on, then I check it out.
I am aware of the story. The 842?
No, it was 512, so 82 goals, I think. Was that?
Yeah, 516.
82 goals, that's right.
500 point loss.
I'll tell you what's going to make the difference. The cavalry has arrived because four-time premiership player for the Sandful, for the Central District's Andrew Hayes, is going to suit up for the Elizabeth Eagles and try and turn the fortunes of their season around.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, when was the last time you played, Hazy?
2015.
Still in that condition, are we?
Yeah, so I don't have an arse at the moment as well. That's probably the most concerning thing. I don't know what's happened to you blokes because you're both finely tuned athletes, but as I've got older, my arse just has disappeared. And my hamstrings right now are just rubbery.
Yeah.
Mate, you're 2-1 to do a hamstring warm-up. I mean, if you get to the first siren, it'll be a miracle.
I've been told that as well. Don't do anything different because you might as well do a hamstring in-game than before the game if you start training for it.
Point.
Yeah.
And you're also a target because every amateur football wants to sort of have the badge of honour, say, I took,
Andrew
someone
Hayes
out.
Hazy out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to grow some eyes in the back of my head.
Yeah. Good luck at it.
I can't wait. This is big news. I've got actually something to take to a Front Bar meeting. That'll be great.
Any special guests on Have You Been Paying Attention tonight?
No. Let's talk about the Front Bar.
Got a wonderful guest.
We have a huge guest. We have Sky Wheatley, who won the Jungle Show.
Yeah. The Jungle Show.
And a huge name, and she's from the Gold Coast, and she's coming down to have a bit of a chat about how I can lift my social media numbers because they're sort of plateauing at the moment.
Yeah, she's an influencer, by the way, Hazy. You're looking a little bit
a mega influencer.
Mega influencer.
I'm familiar with Sky's work as well. Absolutely,
that's great. You follow her on Instagram.
What do you know about? What do you know about her, Hazy?
I know that she is a social media influencer.
Have you been paying attention? Season 12 back tonight at 8:40. It is hands down one of the best shows on television. Thank you so much for having a chat with us this morning, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jody.
Leave the Nova studio as you found it, Sam. Thank you.
Well, I will. I promise.
Put it down.
Now that's a joke.
That was a joke.
That's a joke. That's a terrible joke.
Each and every Monday, Joe, it's just kicking off your working week with a bit of humour. Best way to do it.
I mean, getting up Monday morning can be difficult. So what you need is just a bit of a laugh to start your day. Am I right?
The Emperor, the princess, the queen, the absolute general of humour is Newsreader Abby.
Yeah, and you're an emperor, not an empress, too.
Yeah.
Bit of masculine energy for you, Joel.
Yeah.
All right, do you want me to kick us off? Because I'm pretty clean this week.
Do you know what? Set the tone,
Mine's
Jodes.
not. I'm a bit worried about mine, to be honest.
Are
So
you?
we'll start in one direction and then we'll aggressively veer in another
Yeah.
when Abs has a turn.
It's called pivoting. Okay. The weirdest thing happened on the weekend. I was in the bottle shop and unfortunately 2 robbers came in and they started to rob the bottle shop, and I was sort of listening into what they were saying. And one picked up a bottle of whiskey and he said to the other robber, "Is this whiskey?" And then the other robber goes, "Not as whiskey as robbing a bank."
Terrible accent.
Yeah, was that like Daffy Duck doing it or something?
Daffy Duck went into a liquor store.
All right, I'll go next. So now we'll sort of start to pivot in a different direction if you don't mind.
Okay,
Abs.
sure.
What did the O say to the Q?
What did the O say to the Q?
Dude, your doodle's hanging out. Think about the shape, Jodes, of an O and a Q. now,
get it.
forever, think about a Q being an O with a doodle.
Oh, far out.
Childish, but good. I like it.
Okay, I don't know if this one's going to get over the line, so we'll just see how we go. A teenager is reading a book and walks into her father to ask a question. "Hey, Dad," she says, "what does gays mean?" "Well, honey, just like Mum and Dad love each other, 2 men can love each other or 2 women."
Sure.
She pauses and says, "Okay, well, what does 2 penetrating gays mean then?" The dad freaks out, stops and says, "Say it in a sentence." The daughter replies, "He looked at her with a penetrating gaze."
Gosh, we're all sitting there. I looked at producer Emily, who's just put her head in her hand for a second, and then the punchline actually cleaned it up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, look, here comes our boss, Josh.
Hey, let's ignore him. He doesn't have any coffees with him. What's going on? Of course, the Elizabeth Eagles flying pretty low at the minute.
Yep.
That's okay.
That's okay.
A bit of an upward trajectory on the weekends.
Yes.
And then hopefully by Saturday at Agana Park when we take on Century United, we're going to be absolutely soaring.
So this is what has happened so far. I nominated you. I offered your services to play at the Elizabeth Eagles, and then the footy ops boss, Tim Young, said, "Yes, Hazy, get on board, mate." Fitzy has agreed to be the motivational coach. Josh Rochelle has helped you figure out a few celebrations. But there is a missing piece of the puzzle. There's no question about that.
We thought, how high can we go in terms of AFL hierarchy?
Mm-hmm.
What about a bloke? And there's only a very select few who have won both a Brownlow medal and a McGarry medal. I don't know, 4 premierships, chuck that in there as well. One of the absolute greatest from this state. And most importantly as well, Jodes,
Yeah.
he's a former Elizabeth Eagle himself.
What?
It's bloody John the Rat
Oh,
Platten. G'day, Platts.
Good morning. How are you, Jodie and Hazy? You well?
We're so good, thank you. Is this a club after your own heart? Have you got a soft spot?
Yes, very much so. Yes, I played all my junior career there, and they gave me the opportunity to play football at the highest level as well. So it's certainly a club which has got great memories. Our families have been involved, lots of families. So it's something that we need to get on board and hopefully help them out. And Hazy, you're doing the right thing. Good boy. I know you're nearly hitting 40 and it's been 10 years since you put the boots on. So, but there is a rumour going around which I want to squash, Hazy, is that there's some mirrors going up in the change room. I'm not real sure what's happening here.
Flats, the rumours would be spot on. He was the prettiest of pretty boys when he played at Centrals, and I don't think anything's changed in the 9 years since he retired. He's still a pretty boy.
Still a very pretty boy. Pretty handsome boy, Hazy, aren't you?
You are very handsome.
Platts, I got to meet some of the boys the other day, and I saw some highlights from the game on the weekend as well. Some handsome young men as well. I'm surprised it's not covered in mirrors. You do things a little bit differently out of the Elizabeth Eagles.
Oh, yeah, there is. But, they're all hard-working people down at Elizabeth Footy Club and also up here at the north. So it's going to be a fantastic day. Looking forward to it. And, but we also got to respect our opposition team, which is the Century United Football Club, who are also struggling a little bit. But we wish them all the best. But let's just get footy back to where it is and a bit of fun, and hopefully we can get a lot more players out there.
Platts, I know that Hazy called you during the week to put this to you, and he rang me straight away and he goes, "You'll never believe what the nicest guy in footy just said to me."
Yeah.
Tell everyone what Platts said when you called.
I've told a few people this story that I said, "Oh, look, maybe I'll need to recruit some former Central players as well." And if you responded to me saying, "Oh, look, I've got a fake hip, my knee's no good, and I've copped a few knocks. I'm not sure that I can play." And go, "Platts, you cannot play." So you almost there was a part of you that almost put your hand up yourself.
Oh, mate, as I said, I'd probably sit in the forward pocket, but that's how far I'll probably go. But seeing you out there at whatever position that you're going to play, Hazy, I'm sure that's going to be most comfortable. Watching me on the sideline, just watching you, cheering you along without doing any hamstrings.
Oh, jeez, Platts. I'll tell you what, a hamstring will be done at some stage. Hopefully it just happens maybe in the fourth quarter. You mentioned before, though, as well, mate, we're not sort of talking about going out there and trying to definitely beat Century United and all those types of things. I miss the camaraderie and what comes with football, the teamsmanship, just catching up with mates and having fun and genuinely playing football because you love football. So that's what I can't wait to do on Saturday.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, Hazy. And, some of these blokes have been around the club for many, many years, and then they sort of disappear. 2 or 3 years before, we won a premiership without losing a game. So we need to get back to these blokes who played in this premiership, who are mates through and through. And it's unbelievable how you can make so many mateships out of playing sport. It doesn't matter what sport it is. It's just fantastic to join back up with your mates, and hopefully we can have a bigger and better year for 2025.
Platts, to have one of the greatest footballers that's ever strapped on the boots is going to be huge to have you out there, and we just want to get as many people as we can on Saturday. However, we may get you to help out in the canteen if that's okay.
That's okay, as long as there's plenty of lollies in there. I'll be pinching a few. But thank you guys. Thank you for all your support. And I just want to put it out there to all the players who are playing there now. Good on you. To all the to Watsy and to Timmy Young, who are doing a fantastic job. Matty Swatala now as a coach. Dave Rogers behind the scenes as well. And if anybody else just want to come out and help the club, jump on the website, get the phone number, give them a buzz. If not, we'll see you on Saturday, and we'll have lots of fun.
Oh, good on you, Platts. Also, a big criminal of me not to mention the Safety Hub, 56 Cavan Road, Dry Creek, doing some very good things. How's it going there, Platts, quickly?
Yeah, very busy, Hazy. So life's good. So that's what it's all about: working hard and enjoying life.
Beautiful. Can't wait, Platts. See you 2:15.
Beautiful. See you again. Bye, guys.
See ya.
What an absolute champion, John the Rat Platten.
I love this.
Oh, if nothing else, come out and see the Rat in action.